Again. We'll give the orchestra and the choir about 20 seconds to. Is that how I'm supposed to do it? If only I'd known. Shush, 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 shush. Okay, thank you. I'd like to call to order the December 9th, 2025 Board of Education meeting for Saline Area Schools. Standing as you are able, we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance led by my new favorite Saline Middle School student, Sophie Millward. Thank you very much, Sophie. I appreciate that. The floor is open for public comment. Are there any public comments this evening? We have one extended public comment. Ann Friedholm is going to take the podium. You know how to make it work? You press the button so you see the green. Oh, and you brought an entourage?
There we go. Yes, I have Tammy Carr with me as well tonight. You should find a packet in front of you. Brought some information for you tonight. I think Tammy and I have been doing this for 10 years, coming out of a sense of appreciation. But I wanted to start more as a business leader with you tonight. We feel like this community doesn't quite understand what it's done. So we want to continue to take opportunities to share that because we want the community to feel ownership in a huge impact that has been made. So I've shared with you some information, and on the front of that impact report, you see a lot of kids' faces. This foundation has grown beyond CHAD. We now embrace 45 family partners from across the United States, including Mexico. We are the largest funder of DIPG research in the world. And why is that important? Because DIPG is killing more kids than any other type of cancer. Tammy's going to talk about it. This wasn't the plan, but it is who we are. And this Saline area schools community and the way that you've supported the foundation, we would not be here if it weren't for that. So just to talk about impact, we have now funded over $44 million in research. We literally are the biggest funder of private DIPG research funding in the world. Right now, it's more difficult than ever to get funding for this disease, and we are the most reliable funder for researchers. We've funded over 100 researchers around the world at 46 different institutions. In addition to that, we launched a My DIPG Navigator program. We have 5 full-time nurses on staff and a full-time social worker. They work remotely from across the country, and they walk the journey with a family that's been diagnosed. They don't have to, the family doesn't have to be alone. They don't have to understand what's going on their own. Our families educate them, our nurses educate them. They connect them with resources, and they support them all along the way. They're really a lifeline, and they're amazing people, and we are very blessed that we get to offer that for free, a free resource for these families. This year, the first FDA-approved drug for DIPG came into existence. I believe it's the 6th drug approved for pediatric cancer, period. It is game-changing and huge, and our foundation, again, because this community built us to what we are, we were a big part of making that happen. So I just wanted to say thank you broadly from a business standpoint, but we are specifically here for Run Tough, and I'm going to hand it over to Tammy because that's really a special thing for their family.
Yes, thank you. Run Tough is really what launched this foundation. It started with our family and friends starting a run in our neighborhood when Chad was sick. And that ultimately became the driving force to starting the ChadTough Foundation. Once we realized that our family was going to be okay financially, we said, well, what can we do with this momentum? And that's the foundation was born. All of those wonderful things that have happened since, that was not our plan. Initially when this foundation started, it was, I want to do something so Chad will be remembered. Sorry, it's gotten way beyond that. And this community is a huge part of that. And the Run Tough weekend is always on his birthday. It's 10 years this year since we lost him. And this community has been a huge part of why we are who we are today. And I think that everyone in this community should be so proud that this foundation resides here, because this foundation is going to be a part of finding a cure. And that has been told to us by researchers all over. They wouldn't have said it before, Chad, and now they're going to find a cure in our lifetime. And it's going to be found because of this foundation in Saline. So the Run Tough event is the launching of our foundation, and it is the way we celebrate his birthday every year. And the resources that the Saline area schools provide to make that possible is huge. So I just want to thank you all so much from the bottom of our hearts, from our family, from our staff, from our volunteers, from everyone. We are so proud to be part of the Saline community, and we're so grateful. So thank you.
Thank you so much for coming this evening and sharing that news. That's great. I've seen the balloons go up. I've run twice now with the ChadTough run, and I figured if a 10-year-old kid or a younger can do it, hey, I can tough it out too. So thank you so much, and stick around for. Apparently, there might be some music a bit later. I want to stick to the agenda though. We're at the point of revision or approval of the agenda. Items can be removed or deleted from the agenda, or the order can be changed. Are there any changes to the agenda at this point? I would actually like to pull out for separate discussion item G, approval of the 2026 Board of Education regular meeting calendar, just for a quick discussion and vote separately on that, just so we're all on the same page. With that change in mind, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the agenda as revised.
So moved, Trustees.
JT, thank you.
Second.
Is that Tim? Tim, thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much, 6-0. Student showcase. Jillian, are you going to start us off with this? Awesome, thank you.
We good? We're good. We have the chamber choir and chamber orchestra from Saline High School here with us today. I have no relation to either of them, as I did band, so I hope to hear something cool, and thank you so much for being here tonight.
Hello, my name is Matthew Breyer. I'm the district music coordinator and the very proud director of orchestras at the high school. I'm so grateful to be here tonight with the chamber orchestra and the chamber choir, along with my colleague, Ms. Diaz. I just want to take a moment to highlight some music department accomplishments in the fall of 2025. In addition to all our awesome music concerts, we've had a very successful marching band season. It was a long one, including top ratings at the District Marching Band Festival. And we've had a lot of individual success as well, including 2 students named to the High School All-State Band and Orchestra and 3 honorable mentions. We had 1 student named to the High School All-State Jazz Honors Choir, 2 students named to the High School Regency Honors Choir, 3 students named to the Middle School All-State Band and Orchestra, and 3 honorable mentions, 2 students named to the Middle School All-State Honors Choir, and 3 students named to the Middle School Regional Honors Choirs. In my 15 years at Saline High School, I have been so fortunate to see so many of the brightest and the best of Saline come through the music department. These musicians would not be able to thrive like they do without the infrastructure and the spaces that the district has provided. And that's really the beautiful thing here. We give every student a chance at music, including our 330 brand new 5th grade band and orchestra students that started this fall at Heritage. I want to thank the Saline Area School Board Administration for continuing to support music education in Saline, giving every student that chance to thrive. It's true that studying music can increase our brain development and lead to higher test scores. Trust me, these people do well in school. And I'm sorry to say I can't promise higher IQs tonight for everybody as these students perform. But what we really want to do is highlight the power of community collaboration. The music department works really hard together to provide students a space to work hard in rehearsals, solve problems, learn new skills, grow as learners, and perform great works of art. And here to tell you about a bit about what we're going to be performing is my colleague, Ms. Diaz.
Thank you for welcoming us tonight. We have our annual Masterworks concert next Tuesday, and we know you have a meeting, so we're bringing a little bit of the concert to you live right here. Our annual Masterworks is a really special event, pretty unique to Saline. Most high school districts don't have an orchestra program in particular, especially one as robust as us. And that combination of strings, really with anybody, but strings with voices, it's just magical. And our ability to perform that with our own kids opens up a ton of incredible repertoire, modern music, as well as throughout history. So our masterwork has often been a big extended work by composers like Mozart, Vivaldi, Haydn, those really crucial composers we want to make sure our kids experience or musical eras before they head out. With a masterwork, usually you use music and there's a big orchestra with you, and it's usually maybe lasts like 20 to 30 minutes, right? And they're going to be doing the whole thing. So it's kind of like performing an album live for you. This year we have a new composer, an actual living composer. We couldn't believe it, because so many of the composers with this type of repertoire are deceased, like Mozart and those guys. And so we, with the support of the Foundation for Saline Area Schools, we purchased this new one called Illuminare, and it's by a young American composer named Elaine Hagenberg. She's so alive, in fact, she actually sent us a holiday Christmas card today. That's the first time that's ever happened to me. I got a Christmas card from the composer. So anyway, so this Illuminare, it's about 5 movements. We're going to do the first movement for you today. There's about, I'd say, 100 more people performing this. This is just a smidgen of the group. Percussion, piano, it's just, we're pulling out all the stops like we do each year. The piece itself is all about light, Illuminare, light, breaking through darkness, which is perfect for this time of year. We're coming up to the solstice, and so many of our holidays are about this time of year, right? And that light shining through. So we're excited to perform for you. I think Mr. Breyer is going to tune us up, and we're going to have at it.
Wow, thank you. On behalf of the board, thank you all so much. And we're out. There's going to be a little rearranging, and then we'll head into board administration and board committee updates. Yep. Well, I don't think they're checking their emails. I just want to say, this is probably one of the most difficult evenings for Dr. Kowalski because snow is expected tonight. And there's pressure going back generations that the superintendent could call a snow day. Now, I know you know the rules, a spoon under your pillow and wear your pajamas inside out and turn around 3 times and check the weather report. I don't know. We'll see. We'll just let it go. Administration board reports, Dr. Kowalski.
Thank you so much for that nice transition. I would like to note thank you to Brady Baldwin and the basketball team for hopefully winning 15 plus points tonight, as they just emailed me. Unfortunately, it would take snow to get a snow day, but I am looking forward to seeing the score up 15 plus. So. I do have a little bit of a different kind of update. I have 2 main, more extensive updates for you, and one is an update on the athletic department review, and the second is really exciting because we have a couple of student guests with us to celebrate and recognize for their work on the parade, for their artwork, logo contest for the parade committee. So I first want to start with an update for the board on the athletic review report that we received. The board requested an independent review of the athletic department prior to my transition as the superintendent. As the new superintendent, I inherited the report, read it, analyzed it, and started with our team this summer, while also at the same time having the opportunity to meet many members of my new team, the great administrators who work on behalf of our students, staff, and student athletes and coaches all day, every day. I found the report to be thorough, candid, and helpful to giving us a clear set of priorities and to strengthen systems in athletics. Overall, the report affirmed many things about the strong athletic department that we have and high levels of satisfaction among responding student athletes and coaches. We have strong compliance structures and a culture that has deep community investment. At the same time, the report identified areas we needed to tighten and to clarify so we could rebuild some trust and have consistent practices. Since receiving the report just a few short months ago, I wanted to go through some updates as it pertained to some of the recommendations. And I wanted to highlight a few of the action items we've completed and some that are underway. The first one I wanted to discuss was the report emphasizing and maintaining fidelity to MHSAA's 24-hour rule for concerns. That is the cornerstone of partnerships with parents, not only in Saline, but throughout MHSAA sports. We have reinforced that rule and some chain of command expectations also mentioned in the report with coaches and families at many levels. The first that was done is a deeper dive into these topics during the start of season coach training that occurs at the beginning of each coaching season. The second has been through school communications, both building level and athletic depart, through the daily work administration does to work with students, parents, and coaches. And then we have also worked on a district series called How to Communicate that will continue to support this area of communication and others so we can be sure that we're providing accessible and clear information that has clarity for our parents and families. The second item I wanted to discuss was the GRIT surveys. So the report recommended stepping away from a reliance on these surveys, and we did not renew this subscription. Our athletic administrators instead have shifted the time into more frequent and direct engagement with coaches and parents through a variety of different methods and avenues. This is part of our continuous improvement process and is still something that's underway. One example of, as it pertains to athletics, but also other areas, is I've asked our central office team to pursue more of a pulse check approach to surveys throughout the district, more so than an end-of-year approach. Also, we've engaged students, and one such engagement with students recently led us to consider reviewing the athletic handbook with a group of stakeholders. So those are some updates to that area. The review also noted trends nationwide and turnover rates nationwide with coaches. The report noted the strength, though, of our coaching toolbox and training, but did recommend a more formal mentoring structure for new coaches, similar to that of maybe teacher induction on a different scale. We do have informal mentoring and onboarding supports in place. The team is currently working on a system, a more intentional system of pairing new coaches with veteran coaches to create a regular check-in. This is a work in progress. I want to note that I want only to retain the very best coaches, but also the administrators that work hard for student athletes, families, and coaches every day. Research demonstrates, as was noted in the report, about coaches, also turnover in administrators has profound impacts on student success as well. One item, lastly, on this topic, some work that has been done to improve our Schedule B stipend contract language. And this allows teachers who coach to have more clarity in the amounts and what they would receive as part of coaching. We have wonderful coaches on our staff, but we hope that teachers will also look at this as continued opportunities to support students. Given the seriousness of eligibility and importance of trust, the report also called for improvement processes with residency verification of student athletes. We've implemented both mandatory rosters before the first practice and athletic administration present at the first practice and tryouts to verify new athletes. We've worked very hard with the core team and also to align practices with athletics on residency. So beyond even athletics, we've worked very hard on residency and processes in place to tighten that coordination. Couple last mentions for the recommendations. A few other noted having a full-time athletic administrative assistant and addressing the future of self-funded varsity sport models. I myself think that these are significant structural issues that I identified with our team early on in my tenure here. I have been personally leading conversations to address thorough changes that we will bring to you in 2026. We do have limited resources, so bringing a full-time individual on must be part of a bigger structural shift, and we would bring those to you as part of normal budgetary and planning cycles to the board. Lastly, as a new leader to the district, I've already engaged with conversations with all of our leaders about how our entire team can always benefit from additional training, support, and mentoring. I myself have a mentor. We have continued to engage mentors in our administrative work and will continue to examine the effectiveness of this approach. We have made meaningful and early progress on the recommendations. I appreciate the board's support as we move forward from recommendations on paper to practices that are embedded to make an even stronger athletic program. So that was my first update of two. And I believe I have a visual for the second part. No visual for that. I could have put some, like, I guess, sports balls or something in the background, but. Okay, I want to acknowledge some students. I want to acknowledge the Chamber of Commerce and some other areas on a recent partnership that I joined with the Chamber to work on the parade committee for our 50th holiday parade. And so this summer I was approached, did some planning with the Chamber, was really excited to bring some new student contests to our students. So if you could go to the next slide. The first person I'd like to acknowledge who is with us is Cooper Bush. So Cooper, if you'd like to come to the podium. We had first, very early on, so that the Chamber could utilize the logos on all of the advertising, we approached Mr. Rodriguez's class. And so Cooper, if you'd tell us a little bit about your winning logo.
Hi, I'm Cooper Bush. I'm a senior at Saline High School, and I'm part of Visual Imaging Technology, which is the SWWC's advanced graphics program. And we had the great opportunity of creating a logo for the Saline Area Chamber of Commerce's holiday parade and also their 50th anniversary, which is a big occasion. I had the fortune of winning the logo competition, and I'm really proud of my design, and I think it really shows the community that Saline has, and it's something to be proud of. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming tonight. Thank you, Cooper. So then the next slide, after the logo contest, we quickly engaged the chamber and the committee into launching some art and writing contests. I want to thank the many educators from both Washtenaw Christian School and Saline area schools for entering their students in these contests. And so I wanted to acknowledge that the chamber and I are proud to congratulate these 4 students, and I believe we have 1 or 2 here tonight. Sophie Roth is an 11th grade writing contest winner. I do not believe I got an email from Sophie, but it looks like no one named Sophie's jumping up out of their seats, so she maybe didn't get a chance. Kennedy, 12th grade writing contest. She did send me a nice email that she couldn't make it tonight, and so congratulations, Kennedy, for your writing contest winner. We also had a 6th grade art contest winner, Sophie Millward, and so Sophie is here tonight. She graciously did the Pledge of Allegiance for us. Sophie, do you want to come join? Don't forget the step thing I told you. And tell us a little bit about your winning art.
So sorry. I drew I really like the holiday season and especially decorating my Christmas tree, which is what I drew in my picture. And thank you so much for recognizing me tonight.
Thank you, Sophie. Thank you for joining us. Thank you both for joining us tonight. Thank you so much. And then also photographs. Samantha also couldn't make it tonight. She won the 7th grade art contest winner, and that's on the left there with some members of the Chamber Parade committee. So thank you very much to those winners, and thank you for joining us tonight to those of you that could. And then the parade last week, right? And so while a member of the committee getting to meet so many students through this, we also, thank you board members who joined us, were able to take advantage of having our first, it sounds like, entry in a few years. And that was really exciting and fun. No one's echoing this comment, so I'm really hoping I wasn't the only one who had fun.
Oh, totally had a lot of fun.
Totally a lot of fun. I'm here. And so thank you so much for those of you who joined us, who didn't join us, and I'm sure you were cheering us on behind your fireplaces when it was really nice and warm this weekend. Last but not least, I also wanted to close with some gratitude for Betty Yankee, since it's the holidays and just something that I really wanted to do. She not only supports me, our entire administrative team, and the many staff and students who are part of our organization, she also does so many things behind the scenes. Hank sometimes helps, but this is more of a thank you for Betty. She played a key role in helping this come alive for me as a first-year superintendent with our board and all of the fun, exciting things. And so I am incredibly thankful for her and all she does for our district, our board, and our community. So thank you. And that is the conclusion of my update.
Well, thank you very much for the update, and thank you to Betty. Yeah, you and Hank were great that evening, as were all the other therapy dogs who came with us. Moving down the list, Student Representative Hayes.
Yes, I just wanted to say another thank you to choir and orchestra for being here tonight. I personally like feeling the music through vibration, so I appreciated sitting right here where I could feel everything. It was awesome. I will unfortunately be out for a while due to skiing. Most of January and early February, I will be out on the slopes racing. So if you want to come watch me, come watch me. This is a reminder to our Hornets to please stay healthy. It's that time of year where colds, fevers, and what other yucky sicknesses are out there are starting to kick around. So please wash your hands, stay warm, and eat healthy. Happy holidays to all of the Hornets that celebrate any of the seasonal holidays that are coming up. And then just I have one interesting school thing that I learned about today. Heritage had a 67th day of school party, apparently. I was notified of this, so do with that what you will. 67, yeah. I don't understand, and it's my generation, so I don't know. That was really cool. And then this is just I wrote a little bit to seniors as college applications are coming back, so results are coming in. If you applied for a college, either early decision, early action, or whatever, please remember that even if you don't get accepted, it doesn't mean you're not smart and capable, or whatever else you may think negative about yourself. You could be the most qualified and still get denied. You are still an incredible human being, and I wish you all the best of luck that you get into where you would like to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Jillian. That was very kind and supportive. Well done. Going down the list, Citizens for Quality Community, we did meet, but it was almost all parade related and safety, and that is behind us now. Chamber of Commerce, is there anything from Mr. Austin?
I wasn't at the parade, I was out of town, but I think Rachel did a really good job highlighting the parade, and that was their highlight.
Thank you. Foundation for Saline Area Schools, Jennifer Stebbins not with us this evening, but would like probably to remind us about the fundraisers that we have coming up in February. Very helpful for that. Board associations, I've had no meetings with MASB or the WASB. Sex Education Advisory Board, is there anything, Dr. Gold?
We did meet. We reviewed curriculum. We reviewed some changes to the Michigan State proposed guidelines. It's just basically, they don't make any big changes in, the necessity of sex ed, the availability of opt-out. They just give further guidelines to schools on making sex ed more comprehensive. And so I think I'm excited about the new proposed curriculum, which should be coming soon. I think it's excellent.
Great, thank you. The DEI Advisory Committee, I can report that we're meeting.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, there's
President-
more.
No. I wanted to highlight one other thing. We had the body safety program, and I'm pleased to report to the board that the body safety program, through the efforts of our core team and Superintendent Kowalski, and I'm sure many other people, but all of our amazing Saline area schools staff are going to get our body safety program up and running this spring for our youngest learners. Thank you. Sorry,
That's great. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. The DEI Advisory Committee, we are going to be meeting, I believe, next week at the Media Center. City of Saline, we have not yet set up a charter for our meetings with the City of Saline, but that's that should be on the board's agenda in the near future. CARES, Ms. Berwick?
Happy to say that the hardworking Brian Puffer is here tonight to go over the CARES grants that were awarded last week.
Great. Excellent. Say again? Oh, did I miss Wellness? Darcy Berwick, Wellness Committee? Nothing from the Wellness. And miscellaneous, this is open the floor. Is there anything that somebody's urgently needing to share with the community? If there's nothing, I'll just wait a whole 5 seconds. Well, thank you very much for your board reports. I greatly appreciate that. We have some action items. Let me just move to my paper copy. It's easier for me to see. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the following new courses to be added to the 2026-2027 Saline High School course catalog as submitted by Kara Davis, Executive Director of Teaching and Learning. Sports Video Production 1, Business Law and Ethics, Introduction to Accounting, History Through Film, A World on Fire, Chronicles of Courage Throughout History, Sports Economics, The Money Behind the Game, Mechatronics and Robotics, AP Cybersecurity 1 and 2, Underwater Robotics and ROV Engineering, Introduction to Fitness, Unified Art. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Is that Tim? Thank you.
Support Thucydides.
And Thucydides, thank you so much. Are there any discussion about these? We've had a chance to review them, and a couple of issues were raised via email and were addressed by the superintendent.
I was just going to say, like sports economics, we've got some resources and some people here in our community that I know. A friend of mine, he actually teaches this at University of Michigan, so he might be an asset to bring in and talk to as well.
Very good. Dr. Kowalski is already getting that into her notes. Thank you. Any other comments from others? No?
Can we audit any of these classes? Because
Well, I suspect cybersecurity is the one that might have piqued your interest, but
I don't believe there's pupil accounting guidance on that, so I could follow up if we can talk separately, and I can follow up on the pupil accounting end with that.
are you still missing some credits from high school? Because
I'm missing a lot of credits from a lot of places.
okay, great. Thank you very much. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Well, hearing none, 6-0. Thank you so much. Looking forward to this, Teresa Stager. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the 25-26 Round 1 distribution of CARES discretionary funds in the amount of $73,239.60 as recommended by the CARES Advisory Council and submitted by Brian Puffer, Director of Community Education. So the breakdown is as follows. Saline Unified Basketball, $4,000. New outboard engine for the Saline High School rowing team, $2,664. Memory kits for our friends, dementia-friendly Saline, $5,050. Saline Middle School wrestling room mats, $15,000. New drumline equipment, Saline High School marching band, $15,000. Saline Lacrosse Unity Project, $10,150. Saline Recreation Center lobby enhancement, $11,950. Saline High School girls soccer uniforms, $5,000. Saline Fiddlers Performance uniforms, $4,425.60. Do I have a motion to approve?
Berwick makes the motion.
Darcy Berwick, thank you so much.
Support Tizities.
Thank you so much. Are there any discussion, Darcy? Any insights you can share, Mr. Puffer?
All right. Excuse me. Yes, the CARES Board met in October and December, reviewed the grants that were submitted along with Trustee Berwick. Just read off, we had 10 grants that were requested for round 1, totaling $98,589.60. 9 of those grants were either fully or partially approved at $73,239.60. We do have to keep back 25% in round 1 of funding, so we can ensure that we do have a second round. So there will be a total of $28,604.40 available for round 2, which our deadline for that will be January 23rd. And I'd also like to thank our board members for our CARES, which would be Gwen Frederickson, Greg Holmberger, Jim Heft, Megan Hughes, Chris Michalak, and then Trustee Berwick, who has been great and has been very helpful with this process as well.
Super, thank you very much. Any questions for Mr. Puffer? I did notice that some were funded a little lower. Are they going to be coming back in at the next round?
They may. I mean, the board was definitely looking at they know how much money they had to fund out, so they wanted to fund as many grants as they thought worthwhile for this round. So I think there may be a couple that may come back for round 2, but a lot of them, some of them were partially funded. And so the board was very cognizant of that, so I want to make sure they could fund as many grant requests as possible.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah. They had some really insightful discussions on basing their decisions on community resources that already exist, and so I think that it reflects the needs of the community in conjunction with other services provided. So like there's this senior cares millage in the Washtenaw County, and so some of the services were going to overlap, and so that they're looking into that a little bit further. So I think they made some judicious decisions on their financing.
Thank you. I'm delighted to see dementia-friendly Saline there as well. They're a pretty good outside group and a kind of a treasure for Saline. So, with all that said, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Well, hearing none. Well, thank you very much and, for all your work on this. Mr. Puffer, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the technology purchases as submitted by Jay Grossman, Director of Technology, in the amount of $1,398,766.23. And the cost breakdown is as follows: 531 MacBooks from Apple totaling $498,769, 160 HP laptops from Inacomp TSG totaling $115,980, 640 Meraki, I'm not sure about the pronunciation, wireless access points totaling $784,017.23. Do I have a motion to approve?
Berwick.
Thank you, Darcy Berwick.
Support Tizities.
Thank you, Jason Tizides. Are there any, I know, geez, you just shimmered up to the podium as usual.
I just appear.
You're so silent.
Try.
Do you have anything to add to all this? I noticed that Apple was a no-bid contractor, but that's been the case forever, though.
Yeah,
right?
they are a single, Apple is a single source provider, so there is no bid for them. It's Meraki.
What did I say?
Meraki.
Meraki.
Yeah, it's all the same. It's all good. Not much to add to it. It's as part of our bond, we were planning for device replacement cycle about every 5 years for staff computers. Our last ones were purchased in 2021, so these new ones will be purchased at the end of 25 and handed out in 26, so 5 years. Our access points are between 7, 8 years old.
Oh.
Thought about it as I wrote it. And yeah, to stay with current technology, Wi-Fi, make it better. This will be planning for the next 7 to 8, 9, 10 years even for our Wi-Fi to redo the whole district. So we're going to try and take care of that all at once. I did want to add that bid was awarded to Intercom TSG as well. So I noticed it wasn't on the action item. So I just wanted to make sure that we knew who the vendor was for that piece. But that was competitively bid.
For the HP laptops?
No, for the access points.
Oh,
they're,
I see.
They're both going to Intercom.
Okay.
Intercom won the bid on the Meraki access points, and then they have the state consortium contract for the HP laptops.
Okay. Intercomp is a well-known name at this board table. Is there any questions to ask our friend, Mr. Grossman? Go ahead.
I just wanted to know if we were recycling the old equipment or what's happening with that.
Great question. This time around, so for the laptops, we are actually going to offer them as an employee buyback and give them first crack at it. So if they want to purchase their old device, we're going to allow them to do that, basically at the same price I would get for recycling them. And then anything that's not purchased, I have our resellers for Apple and HP that will recycle them too.
Would you ever make them available to those in the community, students? The recycling value is so low. It would be great. It would be a great opportunity.
And one of the things we're actually looking at for this year is using some of these devices to go to our other staff that haven't originally been given devices. So those, we're looking at extending our contract like Parapros and making these more of use to them. I'd be happy to look at once we have our pool left as to what groups we could give those to. As you said, the recycling value at this point, they're 5 years old. So they would be more useful to go into the hands of people than to a recycler.
It just, having been in the library at the high school for checkout, they start with a cart of 30 at the beginning of the year, and by October it's down to like 16.
Mm-hmm.
So having
18 right now.
Yeah, having something available for the students would be fantastic.
Absolutely.
In the past, have there been many takers for the
This is our first time
5-year-old
doing
machines?
it. This is our first time.
Oh, okay.
Offering them back,
I kind of got that sense. All right. Great. Yeah, I'm just part of a technology refresh myself. Ooh.
I will say I have sent out a poll to our staff to gauge their interest, and a large majority of the people who have responded to it have been very interested in purchasing back their device.
Very good. So they keep their same machine because it would have everything on it. Very nice. That would be helpful.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Well, great. 6-0. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Go out and buy us some good computers.
I will.
Thank you so much. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the recommendation to accept the quote from Intercal for the north and south bleacher replacement at the Saline High School main gymnasium in the amount of $322,897 as submitted by Rex Clary, Executive Director of Operations.
So moved.
Tim Austin?
Support.
Is it? Gold. Yes, excellent. Thank you. No, I got it.
So this is to replace I'm going to call the end zones at the high school. We did the home side and the away side last year. Excellent feedback from Athletic Director Jeff Pike. The stability of the handrails, the rise over the run, it's a much easier traverse. The other ones were fairly steep, so we added an additional row. These will be the same way. Same design or same engineered in the same way. We are limiting the use of these bleachers right now to make it to the end of basketball season. That's our goal. Last year we pushed into volleyball season, I think roughly about 8 days. We knew it was going to be really tight to get those other ones done, so that's why we broke it over 2 seasons. So then we'll also do the Aux Gym hopefully next summer.
So the people who usually sit in those older, more rickety bleachers, they're the visitors, correct?
Home and visitors are new. It's the end zones, which are usually the student section, I believe, is one end zone, and the other student section is the other end zone. So
Good, all right. Thank you, appreciate that. Any comments?
they are safe. We don't know once they come out if they'll ever go back in. That's the concern. So, but the bleachers are safe.
I think I was reading, but are these the ones that are mechanized?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
existing same.
You just press a button and they
Yep.
come sometimes?
Yep.
Okay.
All of our bleachers are mechanized, are
All right.
motor activated. So.
Well, thank you. Are there any questions from the board? Nope. Well, thank you very much. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Great, 6-0. Thank you. Opposed? No one? Thank you. 6-0. Thank you very much, Rex. And like this is a lot of action items this evening. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the trade contractor award recommendation from Clark Construction to enter into contract with Train for mechanical equipment totaling $892,679 for Saline Area Schools Heritage STEAM Edition as submitted by Rex Clary, Executive Director of Operations.
So moved. Support Hanson.
Thank you. Oh, that was. Thank you.
So we received the bids last week. The train equipment and controls were a cooperative bid. We are moving forward with the equipment proposal tonight. Clark Construction, we did 4 post-bid interviews today. We'll be wrapping all those interviews up over the next week and a half, and we'll bring the allotment of the rest of the contractors to the board meeting on the 13th of January. What we're doing is, this was a purchasing cooperative through Train Controls, equipment is pretty much everything we've done across the district, keeping everything consistent. With the approval tonight, we plan to replace all the classroom univents and also include all the new equipment for the new classrooms that we'll be adding during the next summer over that next 18 months, starting in April, May period. So,
thank you. Any other questions from the board? No?
What's the master contract that it's cooperative off of?
Omnia, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I can
Any
double
other?
check that. If not, it's Omnia, it's Sourcewell. I don't have that contract in front of me though.
Any others? No, thank you. It was, I think, Tim Austin, followed by, supported by Nate Hansen. Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you so much. 6-0. I'd like to entertain a motion for the recommendation for furniture and installation at the Saline Senior Center totaling $205,207.18 as submitted by Rex Clary. The cost breakdown is as follows. Interior environment, $64,757.42. ISCG, $121,373.36. That's furniture, I believe. Freight, $9,306.54, and a contingency of 5% at $9,770.
Berwick motions.
Thank you.
Gold support.
Thank you so much. Anything you want to add about that?
If you'd like to stop by and take a tour of the new senior center and or cosmetology center, you'll see that the drywall is starting to go on. And when the drywall starts to go up, that's when paint starts to happen and you're starting to see finishes be put in place. We turned over the bathrooms to the senior center. They have 2 of their other small rooms we turned over to the senior center. This furniture hopefully will deliver in early March, and we hope to give access to the seniors April 1st. So we are on schedule for that space. And so this is the furniture. King Scott has been working with Nancy and her board on putting this furniture package together, which includes furniture for all the new spaces and some office furniture as well.
Thank you. I toured the men's room this morning at the senior center, the new one. It's very nice. Well done, well done. Any comments from the board? Oh, Darcy.
So I think you answered it, Rex, that Nancy Cowan was involved in the decision-making for the furniture and things like that? Okay,
Very much.
that's what I wanted
Yep.
to know.
She
Thank
led
you.
the discussions, and King Scott, who we've worked with numerous years, Dana, Saline resident, students in the district.
Okay.
Also was excellent resource for Nancy to work with, and she put all this together for her.
She's taking care of it. We're good.
Yep.
No other comments? Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Great, 6-0. Thank you so much, Rex.
And if I could just say one more thing, I want to
Please.
thank Nancy for her patience during this process, because she's had to put up with a lot. So, thank you.
All right, thank you. Oh, discussion items. I want to take a few moments just to talk about the Thrun policies and our timeline. I've had some emails from board members, but I really want to make sure that if any of you, you've all had the opportunities to look over Thrun and what other districts have done with Thrun, and how they've presented the policies. You've heard a discussion about the process, of the implementation process of a new set of policies, policy service. We had one set of questions raised by Vice President Stebbin, asking to make sure we had the money set aside, like how much is this going to cost? And also, do we have a set of the old policies just in case, so we can do some cross-checking? We have those policies, we've gone over the numbers, and at this point, Dr. Kowalski, I believe, can share those with you if you need it. But I just want to make sure from this board this evening that there are no other questions or concerns you have if Dr. Kowalski were to move to make the transition from Neola to the Thrun Policy Service. And if you wanted to add anything at any point
It would
along
be
the
just the purchase so we can begin the work. So you'll ultimately vote, of course, on policies, but the purchase needs to happen soon so we can get started on this work.
So the floor is open for any comments, queries, questions, quibbles.
I will just say that it's all of our work is grounded in policy, and it is essential that it be clear and concise. Too much or too little leads for confusion and uncertainty, and that makes our jobs harder.
And Dr. Kowalski shared, I don't know if you shared with everyone or just with me, a kind of a rough timeline of how this might go. And if you want to just elaborate on that a bit.
Well, we've been transparent in the policy committee about what that could look like. So I think that would be something I can share at the table now, be on the committee. That, Thrun right in front of me, this timeline that I believe you've shared but with the full board before, takes about 6 months. And working with the core team, the way it's organized, you've got 1,000, 2,000, 3, like much less. Neola has like up to 9 kind of books. And so it's very well rooted in how our core teams organize, and as most districts are organized around law and the policies that we implement every single day. So really excited to kind of get some initial feedback from our assistant superintendents and our executive directors, kind of bring back to you the ones that we believe you really need to take a look at really quick, so that you can get started on, with also kind of a group of policies that this is the day-to-day practice. And so if there's something completely different that you had in mind, we probably need to talk about that as well. We're hoping to kind of help Betty, myself, and the core team to move along your process. Of course, you'll put your eyes on every single policy, but informed through our lens, which is the day-to-day operations of the district. I would just add, again, I'm shared with many of you, either one-on-one with the policy committee. I believe this is a very important step to support our administrators, and both district and building level with clarity. I just had another situation today, which could have been alleviated by a bit more clear and consistent policies that are aligned with handbooks. Since we have student handbooks that are in Thrun policy, and of course one of our providers is Thrun to provide support and legal services. So I would really appreciate movement on this for the district, and can answer any questions that may come from my comments.
I think from a cost standpoint, when we're looking at the upfront costs, I think ultimately it's an investment into our future, because we use them for council, and now they'll be aligned. So I think it may be a cost benefit.
Yeah, alignment is one thing. Also, making sure they're all aligned with with the laws, with the legislation, but to have the language of the policies clearly aligned, it would be really helpful, that's for sure. There was something else I was going to say about that, but I'll just see if anyone else has anything to.
That is true. We've done an analysis of the financial piece and continuing month by month to see the impact that long-term will have if we move forward with purchasing this in the short term to make up for some of those expenses that are occurring every single month.
There is going to be a heavy lift for the board coming forward, probably starting around February, March, where we will have many meetings regarding the policies to make sure that they are smoothly integrated. And if we do this, I remember what it was I was going to say. We have done some investigation in the past when we moved from the MASB to Neola. There was no need for a board vote. We didn't take a board vote. We just discussed it. It was something that was under the purview of the superintendent as advised by the policy committee and by hearing the comments and questions from the rest of the board. So if you're waiting for a vote on that, I think we're probably not going to have a vote. But if you feel more comfortable actually having a vote,
I thought we did have a vote on the whole packet, not
Yes.
individual policies.
Yeah, that was in May 2018. We rescinded the old policies and went with it. That, but for sure, we're going to be taking that vote. Once all the policies have gone through all the sets of eyes necessary and reviewed in scrupulous detail. Great. So,
to clarify about the heavy lifting, is that something you see an ad hoc committee, the entire board, or the policy committee? Like, is that going to be, you said many meetings in February and March, in what capacity? Like, are we going to have a board representative to an ad hoc? Are we?
well, as far as I understand, first of all, I doubt very much that it will be a full board effort. That's a quite time consuming and so forth. It will depend on who the next board president is to determine an ad hoc committee, and I suspect there'll be several ad hoc committees based on some of our areas of expertise. There are 5 separate volumes. We may want to have one group focus on just finances to see that the policies, because I don't work as much with the financial policies as some members of the finance committee have. Probably those would be the right people to be on that ad hoc. And there are so many others. The biggest work is going to be the transition of our what I've been calling our bespoke policies, but they're the ones that we created ourselves over the past years. And there are as many as 75 policies that we've actually talked about here I want to make sure we clearly make sure that those have transitioned over. But to answer your question directly, it's probably going to be ad hoc committees. I don't know if the policy committee may want to take it on as a committee. It all depends.
I think in 2018 it was the ad hoc committee, wasn't it?
It was actually the policy committee.
The policy committee.
Probably 2017. That was my first committee here, and we sat through and looked at volumes and volumes for an entire, I don't know how many months it was, and went through all the choose this option, choose that option. Go ahead, and that's similar to what we're going to have to do. I think less onerous though. It's going to be a lot smoother process.
So I would just suggest that some of this might be informed by the individuals who do the day-to-day operations of the district and can give you some suggestions. Of course, your eyes will be on every single policy, as they should be, but I would like to think that because we've been working in policy for so many years, we'll be able to look at some of these through the lens of these would be a quick review, very much aligned to what daily practice and what we've done with Neola would be, to help maybe formulate what the next steps come maybe late February, March would be. I think it would be kind of determined based on some of that input, partially.
Just very big picture. We have our set of policies now, correct? And then they're going to Thrun. So can you just kind of take like one policy as an example, and how does it go from where we are now to what process does it have to go to until it's in Thrun? Is it somebody just sits down? Is it kind of a template that how does it get from there to there? Is it just us looking at it, or is there a template?
Well, first of all, there are 2 things. Thanks. Great question. Thrun has their policy manual, and the minute we plunk down the money for it, we will get a chance to see in exact detail. I mean, I've sat with them in a room and looked through it over some of the policies, but that's kind of a difficult way to do it. Once we get the policy manual, we'll just one by one, each policy, start with titles and do a crosswalk ourselves. In addition, Thrun has a checklist that they've been doing this now with a lot of districts. They have a checklist and guidance, and they will do a lot of hand holding as we work through it. But what Dr. Kowalski has also said is she's going to have some of the leadership team do an eyeball on the policies. In the past, we've actually gone to the leadership and said, like, for example, Miranda, hey, is this accurate? Hey, they've got this clearinghouse language. Does this make sense to you? And we've had verifications that it's okay and moved on from there. So 2 things will happen. One is we'll just crosswalk it ourselves and make sure that nothing's missing from our policies. And I'll alert us all to the 75 that we've touched on and made minor tweaks in the past.
So the specific ones are going to get a more hand-holding from side to side. Correct?
Yes,
Okay.
I can tell you there are, yeah, right. Well, and it's been brought up a few times, the opt-out language for parents. One that I didn't see in the Thrun manual the times I've looked was dealing with complaints toward the superintendent. For example, that's not really clear in the Thrun language, and we've got pages and pages of it in Neola. So I want to make sure, are we missing something from Neola, or is the Thrun's approach the best one to take? And I don't know. We're going to hit some bumps along the way, I'm sure, but for the most part, I think it's going to be a pretty smooth transition with Thrun's help. Well, great. Well, let's call that discussion wrapped up for now. Tim, you look like you.
To give a vote or anything to authorize this, or just go ahead and?
I think we've just basically raised every single question at the board table for the superintendent to take note of, for her to make the wisest decision moving forward. And we all know that we are going to be doing the transition work. We know that she knows how much it's going to cost. We know what the process is going to look like. There's not much more for us to do until this final vote to rescind the Neola policies and move to the Thrun policies. And, yeah, okay.
Because it's under the bid threshold, I'm viewing it as very much as a resource for us to do the day-to-day of the district and operations. And then, of course, we know that just once they're purchased in the next few days doesn't mean that they're our current policies, right? You do all of that voting and all of that work. So I'm at this point taking the lack of, follow-up questions as my next step with Ms. Yankee is to go ahead and purchase them and begin the process that you'll be heavily involved in. But in their timeline, we don't need a vote for me to continue with that.
Okay, I just didn't want to wait till the 13th to have to vote on it.
Right.
Just make a motion now.
10, 15 years from now, the board members who replace all of us are going to be looking back at the minutes from this meeting and saying, did they take a vote? You'll still be here anyway, yeah, so that's great. All right, thank you very much. I'd like to entertain a motion to, we have two ways of doing this, to approve. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as amended, and we can do the approval of the board calendar separately. In fact, let's do that. Let's just approve everything now, if that's your wish, and then we'll talk about the board calendar separately. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda as written? As amended, sorry.
So moved, Gold.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gold.
Support, Tizides.
Thank you very much, Jay Tizides. Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
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 6-0. Hearing no opposed. So regarding the Board of Education regular meeting calendar, for those of you who are here, last time we decided, by the way, it's on, if you're following along in your playbook, it's on page 70 in the calendar is actually listed on the very last page of our packet. The one in question is August. We had made a decision to move the August second meeting in August, the first meeting in August, which is the second Tuesday, to move it back a week. And there were concerns raised about, and sadly I don't have the email, I can look for it, as to whether it's tricky for parents who have athletes who are not in sports at that time. There was a discussion about whether this was a dead week or a quiet week or a week where there are no sports going on. And I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. there's a very powerful reason for keeping it at August 4th, moving it back to the first Tuesday. And I'll let Dr. Kowalski, if you have a moment to talk about that while I look for that email about dead days.
Yeah, we had talked about that last meeting. I talked a little bit about the HR piece of that and some of the summer hiring. It might be give some folks that, you know, you've been board approved and moving forward with your position. Additionally, that week in August where you typically would meet is a pretty intense week for the team as we prepare to welcome back teachers and students. There's also a pretty big gap between the July meeting and the August meeting, which would allow us to bring any items to you prior to really getting the school year started. On the athletic thing, I did follow up on that and share the information with you so you could bring it up tonight. Is not a dead week. It's just a week where there could be like not as many practices, but it's not a complete dead week. But it surely could mean that student athletes have time off from athletics.
So there's not a dead week necessarily, but a down week. So according to Mr. Pike, from August 1st until the start of practice tryouts is the downtime. So people can take their vacations or not, but for the most part, it's a relatively quiet time. But I would like to stick with so as I was saying, the reason I brought this up is that a board member raised it as let's think about this just a little deeper, and I wanted to make sure we had a chance to just talk about it. If you are ready to accept the calendar as it is, we can put that to a vote right now. If there are any questions, discussions. Well, I'll tell you what, let's entertain a motion to approve the 2026 Board of Education regular meeting calendar, knowing that, of course, we can always make edits and tweaks along the way, but this is as locked in as it gets. Do I have a motion to do that?
So moved.
Is that Tim Austin? Do we have support?
Support Tizides.
Thank you very much. Is there any further discussion or any discussion? If not, I'd like to put it to a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you so much. 6-0. Oh, opposed? Okay, great. Items on the next agenda, Dr. Kowalski.
I have a great team. Appointment to the Cable Commission. Of course, we will celebrate we will recognize you during School Board Recognition Month. You will also have all of the fun things that January brings for you all, like your committee assignments, election of officers. I hope I didn't steal your thunder, but you did ask what's on the next agenda. Course approval of, I think, one additional potentially for you. We'll have our CEB hearing, first hearing, and as Mr. Cleary mentioned, we will bring some additional recommendations for the Heritage Project that is kicking off. And probably likely some other things as well that we don't know about yet.
That's sort of a segue. I really should clarify. I'm going to send an email, especially to the folks who are relatively new to the board, as to what exactly happens during that organizational meeting. I can tell you very briefly, it's kicked off by the former presiding officer, which is me. And I will start it off. We will start off with an election for president, at which time, at that very moment, however the election goes, we will transition over to that person taking this chair, and then we will vote for vice president, secretary, and then treasurer. But the meeting from that moment on is led by the new board president, whoever that is. Okay? But I'll send you nauseatingly complex and clear details about that in the next few weeks. Public comment. Are there any public comments, Ms. Yonke? Thank you. The next meeting of the Board of Education will be held on January 13th at 6:30. I'd like to entertain a motion to enter closed session of the board at, what time is it now? 7. We're going to sort of get together at, let's say, 7:48. How's that? 7:48 p.m. with intent to reopen at approximately. An hour sounds great. An hour is optimistic, but let's just say in an hour. So I'll just say 9 p.m. Okay, for the purpose of superintendent evaluation under Section 8A of the Open Meetings Act. Under 8A, a simple majority vote is sufficient to enter into a closed session. So, do we have a motion first of all?
So moved.
Is that
Support Anson?
Nate? Oh, Tim and Nate. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you very much. We are now entering closed session, so we're going to clear the room. Thank you so much for attending, especially if you're an AP Gov. We hope you got plenty out of this. Without objection, we've returned from closed session. Sorry, we're about an hour late, and I know that people are still anxiously watching the snowfall outside, but we cannot comment on it at this moment in time. We evaluated our superintendent following the MASB protocol that was provided to us, and I can tell you, first of all, let me be very clear. In the past, we used to have 4 levels of evaluation on a rubric: needing support, developing, effective, and highly effective. We no longer have the highly effective category in the rubric anymore, and we only have now needing support, developing, and effective. And I'm delighted to announce that after a great deal of discussion amongst the board members, and even reading the notes of board members, the one board member is not able to attend tonight, we have rated our superintendent as effective in the government and board relations category. Under communications, community relations, also effective. Under staff relations, effective. Under business and finance, effective, and under instructional leadership, effective. There are other aspects to this final report that we need to develop, and over the next few days, we will be compiling all of the notes from board members present and absent into a statement, at which point Dr. Kowalski has the option of responding or not. In some cases, no response is absolutely acceptable, I should say. With that in mind, I'd like to entertain a motion to, and so a final report will be released through our communications director. I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn. Oh. We don't have the actual final rating. Oh, sorry. Do we have to vote on the final rating? The final rating for the professional practice? The final. Thank you. Thanks for that clarification. I'd like to entertain a motion to, let me just draft the motion, to accept the evaluation of effective in all of the categories as noted earlier.
So moved.
We have Nate Hansen.
No.
Oh, sorry, Tim Austin. Moving. Support. From Lauren Gold. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Opposed? No opposition. Thank you very much. I'd like to entertain thanks for the reminder that we actually had to vote. No, thanks for the reminder that we had to vote on that. I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn the regular Board of Education meeting of December 9th at 9:56.
So moved.
Thank you. Tis it is. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
So who was that? Nate? Tim? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. We will see you in January. Thank you very much.